Hello, it's Debbie Burgermeister from Horse Riding Hub with your essential equine education, and this is day one of my online event, How to Stop the Horse Hurt. And most of you might be thinking, what is this all about? So that's why I'm here to just wait with you with buttons and see how you can join me in these 3 days to go through many things that when you start out with horses, how can you do it safer? And also, how can you do it where you don't let things happen that cause very costly mistakes? That's one of the biggest things I see. I've been around horses for 40 years, over 40 years. I've had my riding school for the last 17 years, and I have seen so many people make mistakes that could have been avoided. And it's that typical you plan to fail if you fail to plan. And this is why I thought I would put this online event. So over 3 days, you could sit with me and just go through the things that are the essential, very basics of what to do when starting out with horses. My pure mission in life is thinking about why do I do what I do, and it's to share my knowledge, and I want to share this knowledge so that I can leave this world a better place and just touch lives to make things better with horses. Horses are a heritage in Australia, and they mean so much to so many people that horses have blessed us with their lives, really, and definitely blessed my life and blessed my family. I have a teenage daughter that is an incredible person, and it's because horses have developed such a caring attitude and a strong, hard-working attitude that I know it has set her up for life to help her through her teenage years and her adult years. Through my life, it has done incredible things for me. So this is why I thought I would do this online event, because I just want to help so many more people than just my riding school throughout my life. And if I can share my knowledge with the world to help beginners, I am absolutely beginner education specialist. There are plenty of people helping beginners through their riding schools, plenty of people helping online through videos, and I am definitely not the video specialist or the video queen, but I know I have a wealth of knowledge that I want to share. So I'm hoping throughout these videos and you commenting on the videos and asking questions, send me an email if you like, that I can help you get started in the safest way possible. And there's 3 core things to starting out with horses. And this core session, this number 1 session today, is all about the basics of horses, what to know before you venture into the world of horses and your horse journey. And I used to have these modules that I'd give to people every time they'd come for a lesson. I'd give them a little module and say, take this home and this is your reference. So I thought I would just put it all on paper and wrap it into books so that people could take them away from their lessons and they'd have a reference guide. And parents, when they ring me, their first words to me are, I have a horse crazy girl and I just don't know where to start. And getting the bit of knowledge of the basics about horses is just so important, and it'll set you on the right foot, but also speed up the process, make it easier, make it safer when you set foot in the door or in the face of a horse. So Buttons here, she is just such a sweet Shetland, but if you talk to the horse world, not all Shetlands are like Buttons. She is so sweet, but all horses have such different personalities, and Buttons is just made the world of young people around my life so much easier because she is so sweet. But horses, like the big horses, they can weigh up to about of 400 to 500 kilograms, and that's a lot of weight to step on your toe. And knowing how to move around horses, how to look at them, see how they feel, all those things can tell you a lot about how to approach a horse and how to stay safe. So when you're learning about horses or turning up to a horse for the first time, knowing that the front of the horse is the safest part is just number one, and knowing not to run like crazy at a horse and keep your body, all your energy down and slow and low, and keep everything like that calm when you walk up to a horse, knowing that you should just take a big deep breath out before you approach a horse. Horses can feel our heartbeat from a couple of meters away, and when they can feel that energy up, they get quite tense and start to feel a bit energized and a bit scary, especially if they're a big horse. But then if they can feel us calm and our tone of our voice really slow, then that makes a big difference. So just knowing to walk up to the front of the horse, step one, knowing that things frighten horses easily. Horses are flight animals, so we'd have a lion who's definitely not a flight animal. He's a fight animal, so he will definitely come up and charge us and maybe eat us. But a horse definitely won't do that. So the louder and scarier we are, the louder and scarier they will be and want to run away. So when I say there are three core parts of your milestone journey with horses, one of them is learning about horses. So knowing the front and back, knowing the left and right, knowing what type of horses and different horses there are around and how to understand them, to how to ride a horse. So every horse crazy girl just wants to jump on that horse and go riding. But you know what? It gets really frustrating for young girls when the horse won't listen to them, and that's all the horse's fault. And it's so much to riding. There's so many different signals you need to give. So it can get frustrating. It can get very hard. So I want to help you make it as easy as possible. And then after you've learnt to ride, there's always that question of horse ownership and whether you should or shouldn't, that deep yearning to have a horse, and not jumping into it very fast. So if you make decisions very rashly and quickly, it can cause a lot of problems in your life and a lot of problems in your bank account. And you do want to stay safe and not end up in hospital, and people buying the wrong horse for their first horse can cause a lot of problems. So that is a big thing, and horses tend to injure themselves a lot. So knowing how to treat things yourself in a basic way can really help as well. So when you're starting out with horses, understanding about them, where to start, well, just knowing about horses and how to understand them and how to do things on the ground before you jump on the horse. So there is a lot to groundwork with horses, and part of that is how to catch them, put a halter on. We catch a horse with a halter, we ride a horse with a bridle. Being prepared, the best thing I love doing is when I see young girls, and I spend a day with them in the school holidays. We have what's called horse play days. And when I see girls willing to pick up their manure, that is the horse girl that stays with horses. So all the girls that I see come through my riding school, and because I've had it for so long, I see little girls, 2 young adults become women, go into the workforce, and then they might come back and work for me. And those girls that I've seen from a young age that don't care about dirt, that don't care about picking up manure or picking up the broom and sweeping some dirt, all those girls have turned out the most amazing young girls that are incredible with the horses they own. And their personalities are girls that I just love being around in my family, and they all feel like second daughters to me. And they're the girls that stick with horses for life. So I'm not saying that it happens from day one. I had another girl that would shake in front of a horse. She was so frightened of horses, but she loved them so much. And she has become just the most beautiful person. She owns her own horses now. And yeah, she's definitely not scared of them anymore. She gives herself lots of challenges. So yeah, you can be frightened of horses when you first go near them. But they do become part of your heart and part of your soul, and they move your life. And so I thought I'll just give you a brief rundown of when I'm saying that you need to learn the basics of horses and all about horses. Going and having reference material does help. From being a horse rider, horse owner, trainer to instructor, and owning my riding school, one of the things that I have the hugest passion about is getting my knowledge out there, and I've done that through writing some books. And one of them is little horse basics for kids book. So for the kids that can't read very well, and it's got some really great fun pictures in it, and it teaches you about the horse parts through that. It has a bit about colours of horses and markings of horses, what the white markings on horses are called, common terms of horses, and just different things that we use. So when you turn up in front of horses and with horse gear, you understand what type of gear that we use around horses, how we catch them. So that's a fun picture book. And then this is kind of the core first book for those that'll read when you can read. And from pretty much that 6 to 8 years old through to teenage years, and even my adult beginners have read these books and enjoyed them because it's very simple, it's very easy, it's very fast to read. So this is the Horse Lover's first book, and this goes into a little bit more depth, and it just talks about what the different horses are. So Buttons here, she is a little Shetland, and then they go through different heights. So we measure horses in hands, and it's pretty much an adult hand like that, about 4 inches. And then we convert that into centimetres and hands and through a tape. And then it goes through all the different horse parts as well. And it gives you a reference guide of the different types of horses, horse markings, what we use to groom our horse, the different types of beats that a horse has. So a slow beat is a walk, then they can trot, then they can canter, and then they can gallop like you see on a racetrack. So this book is just such a really good reference. How they eat, the little things that you need to know about horses. And if you start with that book, it just means that you can go through having lessons, or you can go through this book. It's a great thing to sit down with parents and their children, and when you turn up in front of a real horse, you've just got a little bit more knowledge, and it can speed up things. So once your instructor is talking you through things, it's familiar with you, and that becomes easier. Anything that is repetitive, that becomes familiar to you, and then you practice it in person with a horse, it just gets easier. So I'm hoping that through these 3 days, this is a video that can help guide you. If you go to my website, horseridinghub.com.au, it'll have a essential guide before you ride that you can reference. So that's a free download. And most importantly in that is fantastic, I have put what the horse journey would look like. So when you're having lessons, a parent will ask, what's next? What does this look like when my daughter gets better? What does it look like when when is my daughter going to canter? And once they can canter, what can they learn next? And all those things is shown throughout that essential guide before you ride. So it's got all the steps that you would learn with horse riding. So it's a great overview document of what your journey looks like. And I want to be that person that you can go to and ask questions. Everyone that's been through my riding school that's bought a horse, they still ask me questions. I always want to make myself available to be able to help out as much as I can, because it keeps young girls safe with their horse. So if you're having problems with your horse, that's when I can just give those little tips. It could be a change of a bit. It could be the feed that the horse is on. It's such simple things. But this day one now is about how to get you started, and I hope I have helped you with a few tips, the resources that you can use. These are on my website, but I will share a link with everyone that's watched my videos so that you can get these through me directly, and I can just send them out to you a lot cheaper when you order them direct. And that's as simple as an email to me, info@horseridinghub.com.au, deb@horseridinghub.com.au if that's easier, or just go to my website, contact info is there, or even just make a comment when you're watching my videos or after you've watched my videos. So I hope, Buttons hasn't really given us much interaction. She's been a bit dull, but you know what? She has been my rock. So for me to do these videos, I kind of need that horse support. Especially, I love Buttons because she sits and chills and keeps me calm, which I love. So I hope you have got some insight. I hope I have helped you a little bit with your starting out. I definitely have put my knowledge in the easiest way I can to make things simple and getting things started for you to make things safer, easier, to avoid costly mistakes. And definitely, in summary of this video today, is to avoid the horse hurt. That is what this is all about. So I can't wait to see you tomorrow when I join with you on day 2 to go through how to ride a horse and giving you exercises and things that you can do at home to make horse riding so much easier. There are some great tips I can show you. You might see me do some exercise moves and step you through the 3 parts of your journey with horses. So all the basics about horses, how to ride a horse, and what you need to know before you purchase a horse. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching my video. And I hope they have the great rest of your day, rest of your night, and look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.